Hi 49 and Market fans. If you're like me, you love everything 49 and Market. Their designers do a gorgeous job, and this particular collection is one of the prettiest I think I've ever seen. It's called Serenity, and it's in shades of blues, bluish grays, and beige. But the images are so striking that they just jump off the pages of this gorgeous collection. So let me show you what I did on this. On this Vintage Artistry Serenity collection, I ended up using one of their 2-inch Foundations portrait albums. Excuse me. The binding is 2 inches across, and it comes with plain pages on the inside. And then I added Foundation Pages B, and I'll show you how this all works when we open the album. But there are so many different ideas that you can add to this that 49 and Market has already designed for you. The B is just one of them. There's an A, and there's a C collection, and you can mix and match if you want. They all work within this particular album, as well as a couple of the other albums that they have. The albums themselves are made out of heavy chipboard, and you can just load them up. I load up my albums, as you can see, and when we start opening this, you'll see even more. But I've used everything, I think every single part of this collection, including I do use packaging as well. So let me explain to you what I did on this. The only thing I didn't use it was 49 and Market is this handmade paper I had, and I just used it on the binding only. But then I had this from a piece of their packaging. That's why you see a little bit of sheen to that. But how could I possibly throw those gorgeous butterflies away? There is no way I would do that. Look how beautiful those are. And then on the front cover, I used a piece of the 49 and Market 12 by 12, and then layered another piece of 12 by 12, cut down, of course, and then a piece of 6 by 8, and I used from the Ephemera collection this beautiful frame, butterfly, leaves. Look at the detail in that. Look at those little tiny flowers. These are all die cuts, laser cuts. They're gorgeous. This is laser cut. Very, very detailed. And popped a lot of this up. So we'll go to the inside. So the inside cover, when you get the book, the Foundations book itself, the inside cover is just a plain cover. So you can do anything you want with that. You can leave it as a plain cover and decorate it with just one layer. But I chose to use this from the B collection. It's got, this is, I said B collection, it's the Foundation Pages B collection, sorry. And it's got some depth to it, as you can see. So I started decorating this, and I used from the die cuts a card, a beige card, that will act as a side pocket. I cut these for inserts. Look at these. Look at that. Just gorgeous, isn't it? Use some ephemera for the tops, some tickets, and then added a little bit of a ticket on the bottom to act as a stopper so none of this stuff falls through. Okay, so on this particular Foundations, I opened it up, and then I did a belly band, used 2 laser cut buttons, some tags, another ticket, This piece of lace down here is not actually lace. It's the branding strip of one of the papers. So honestly, when I start cutting, I don't throw anything away till I'm finished with the book. And then I still barely throw anything away. So this is just an insert. I folded this paper in half so that you would have 4 spots for photos. Then the center section is actually a dimensional pocket. Look at that. So you can put all kinds of things in here. This is laser cut lace. I mean, this looks like the real thing, doesn't it? It looks like I went to Grandma's house and just took some of her lace, and it's just beautiful. This is butterflies. Now, what you can do with this if you want, you could grab something else and stick it in here. I did not do that. I don't know what I want to put in there yet, but I might add a tag. You get a whole slew of tags in one of the collection kits. So here's one of the tags I haven't done anything with yet. So I could put it in here if I wanted. You could also just cut another photo mat and put that in. What I did with this is a 6x8 piece of paper from the collection, and what I did is cut it in half so that the doily design continues on the bottom of the page as well as the top. So on the inside, if you can see that, there's really nothing covering the inside of this pocket. That's okay. That's just a little cheap thing. Okay, so I did a trifold with a 12x12 piece of the collection paper. I just love how this is already grunged up. It's just beautiful. Watermarks on it. Look at this frame. Another ticket. And on this, you can see that the ticket is sticking out a little bit over the book. I love when things stick out of books. I have an obsession with this because that just makes me want to go into the book, dive in, see what else is in it. It makes it so interesting to me. So that's my inside. Oh, sorry, didn't do this page. This is the third panel for this particular foundation pages. And again, I used a branding strip, a nice area for a photo. And I took a craft knife and cut around the leaves of this 6x8 paper so I could tuck this behind. I also, it's kind of hard to see these in camera, but I also take a little tool with a tiny, tiny point, dip it in my ink pad, and then go over the stitching marks all the way down. Can you see those? And the stitching marks are already printed for you on the paper, so it's really kind of neat. This page, I used a ladder, I guess that was a ladder, and just tucked some of the stamps behind it, and then did a side pocket. Again, you can see the sheen. This is part of the packaging. I cannot get rid of those butterflies. And then created another little folder with places for journaling, or you can tuck photos in. Because we all know how important the journaling is. And then I use some washi tape to bind those two pages together. So that gets tucked in. In the corner, there's a ticket. I just stapled it in, and that will stop that folder from falling through. Okay, so that's that page. Then this is actually page 1. And I did a lot of magnets on this page. This is another piece from the kit, from the collection. Pardon me, not the kit. I popped up a butterfly. This guy moves if you want it to. And then this is a card. This is this card. Excuse me. All I did on this was score it so I had a seam I could fold and tuck behind the paper that I used. So this opens. I love this family. I think this is part of the branding strip as well, and I just kept it because I like the word. And then another little pocket, and that's made with some of the ephemera. Then another flip, and then this gorgeous paper. Now on this one, I decided to make a pocket. So again, I have this butterfly. This is chipboard from the same collection. I have this butterfly sticking out. Like I said, it's interesting to me when it does that. And then what I did on this was a flip. I'm sorry, I had to think about what I did. This was a flip, so the whole page should have flipped out. But instead of doing that, I created a top pocket so I could pull, make an insert for full photos. Okay, so the back of that page, I've cut out one of these little house frames from one of the 6x8 page papers. Did a corner pocket so nothing would fall out, another insert, and that all goes behind that. But I want to show you this up close because look at that. It's just beautiful. Gorgeous, huh? I did ink, you probably noticed I did ink the edges of this paper in brown tones, just a light brown color. I didn't want it too dark, but I did want it to show up a little bit more. I think adding that layer of ink just adds another dimensional type layer. This is a piece from the packaging. Look, how can you get rid of that? I can't. I'm obsessed. And I took this piece of packaging and made a pocket, a side pocket out of it. And then just used one of the tags that comes in the collection. Tied some ribbon on it. And then used, on the back, the tag was plain, so I just used one of the rub-ons on the back. Again, those are just as detailed and gorgeous as everything else in this kit. Oh, before I put that away, I want to show you the blue lace. Laser cut. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to tuck this in and move it on. There we go. Whoop. Oh, hang on, I got a pin caught. Okay, so the back of this, I used one of the laser cuts, or I'm sorry, one of the pages from the ephemera kits, and used it as a pocket and created these. This is a rub-on. They're beautiful. And then this is a piece from the laser, not the laser cuts, I'm sorry, the ephemera cuts. And I made a pocket out of this, and these are all rub-ons. I just have to feel it because they're so gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so what I did with this tucks into this pocket. I leave this out, so when I tuck the main part of that in, I can put this into this pocket. And then this comes out, good for journaling. Rub-ons on the back. They don't like to leave the backs just plain. This is too beautiful, and there's too many gorgeous things to use. And then you have plenty of space for journaling here, adding dates here, whatever. Okay, so the next page I did pretty much the same thing. I took this cut from the ephemera, used a rub-on here. This was already on the paper, but look at how it's just cut perfectly. And then I used another card from the ephemera, attached a plain ephemera pin. The back of this, I used a rub-on, and then this tucks in, and the journaling card comes out. At least that's the way I liked it. Okay, now this whole thing then opens up. I know there's a lot to this book. Do you need to stop and get a drink? Go ahead. You can stop this and come back to me in a couple of days. I'm kidding. Okay, so this is a laser cut. This is a laser cut ticket band. This is chipboard, sorry, and this is a chipboard butterfly. And again, I used my little pointy tool and ink and went over the stitching lines on the paper because I just love that. And then the inside, more of that gorgeous lace, another piece from the 12 by 12 branding strip, and then die cuts and rub-ons. Look at the colors in this. Just beautiful. I just needed a little bit of a splashy rub-on on the back. Make it look a little grungy. Beautifully grungy, I should say. Okay, so that's that page. Then the back of that page, this frame is actually printed on a piece of the 12 by 12 paper. And it doesn't have the full frame printed. It has a piece of the frame printed. And I love the architecture and the design of that frame. So I fussy cut around it and put a couple of tickets in the corner. These are all attached, but they're only attached part of the way so that I can slide you can use this either as a photo mat or journaling card. I can slide that right in, and it's not going anywhere. But I didn't lose the beautiful print of this frame. Next page. This is a fold out. Again, this is all part of the album foundations. This is set B, as I had said before, and this is a fold out. I did a belly band. Look, my favorite butterflies. And this belly band was made with a branding strip from the paper. Then this opens, branding strip from the paper. You can do a journaling there. Close it up. A little bit of a pocket. And then some ephemera on the inside. This little guy on the tag is also a beautiful little rub-on. Look at that. Okay, we're going to flip this. And this page was really fun to do, just a little bit different. I used branding strips again from the 12 by 12 paper. Did a branding strip at the top. This is a flip, a branding strip at the bottom of the flip. And then to close it, I took some of the ephemera, looped them together with an eyelet and a little piece of chain that I had. These tuck in, and when you do that, it closes up the flaps. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so we're going to open up the top flap, and I left that plain so you could put a photo there, and then the bottom flip, and then a piece of that gorgeous paper. So we're going to shut this, close this up, and there you go. And then, oh, I forgot this opens. I'm sorry. And then this will open. Oh, no, I'm doing this wrong. See, I already forgot what I did. Okay, so this paper, again, I cut around the leaves. I use a craft knife to cut around the leaves. And a place for a large photo. Open it. Another place for a large photo. This is a piece of the, I'm trying to think, is it, yeah, this is the die cut, the laser cuts. And then, look, my favorite butterflies. And then another piece of that gorgeous lace, laser cut lace. And then the back part, again, I used a dimensional piece from the Foundations pages, the B collection again. All this is from the B collection. I cut around this doily image. This is from the branding strip. I used some of the laser cuts and added some butterflies. And then I can tuck this in and that'll stay. You can use it, again, journaling or a photo, whatever you'd like. Okay, and this is part of the Foundations B. Also, it had two pockets, side pockets, one on each side. And I've just decorated that with the paper again, tickets to hold things on the inside. I don't like things falling out. This leaf is on the paper. This leaf is part of the collection. And then I've got some top folds so you can journal or photos. And then this one is a bottom fold. Journal or photos. Okay, get in there. There we go. And then on the back of the book, I used a piece of the packaging again. I find that I like to do that on the back of books whenever I have the opportunity because it's a little bit shiny, so honestly, if it gets dirty because it's laying around somewhere, you can wipe it off. So that's my book. My books don't usually close. If you like your books to close, I don't care because I find it interesting. But if you like a nice book to close, then just save one of these inserts for another time. Or you can take an insert like this one, for example, that I used on the front cover. This, if I didn't have this in here, I could use that piece for a separate book, like a junk journal or a little mini book for someone. So again, you don't, even though these are pages to add to your books, you don't have to use everything as a page in a larger book. You can use it separately as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll list all the products that I used. And happy scrapbooking with 49 and Market. Thank you. Bye.